If you enjoy our videos, please subscribe, like, and share so we can continue to bring you the best in travel tips, news, and information. Our day started with a flight from Marrakesh, Morocco to Madrid, Spain for our 12-hour layover, so we thought. Then a trip back to the States. And if you've never visited Morocco, you should really check it out. We did some great videos on this very interesting country. I'll list them below. So, you have a 12-hour layover in Madrid? What do you do? Let's take the layover quiz. A. Stay at the airport and try to find a comfortable place to sleep. B. Go into the city, get a good meal, and try to get a good night's sleep at a hotel before your early morning flight. Or C. Go out all night, eating, drinking, and dancing in the beautiful city of Madrid. Well, at least that's what we attempted. Now let's take a look at the layover checklist. Most importantly, make sure you have enough time to get back to the airport. The time will vary depending on the city. Make sure you check your visa requirements and have some sort of plan, at least a way to get to and from the airport. Our layover plan was pretty simple. Arriving, we only had one definitive plan. That was dinner reservations at restaurant Botín at 23:15, their last reservation. This restaurant is the oldest continuously open restaurant in the world, according to Guinness Book. We also like to stay in one area of the city to optimize our layover time. Our day started at 14:25 on Saturday. We were leaving from the Marrakesh Menara airport. Now we got there 3 hours early, and apparently that was way too much time. We had to wait about an hour and a half to check in, and unfortunately there wasn't much to do in the departure terminal. After we checked in, we went directly to the Pearl Lounge to relax before our flight. We have a video review of this lounge. I'll list the link below. And when we got down to the gate, we found out that our flight was slightly delayed because of this plane. Yes, I believe that's Air Force One. I think Jill Biden, US President Joe Biden's wife, was visiting the country, and apparently she was unaware that we had dinner reservations in Madrid, and it was potentially making us late. But let's see. Well, we finally got to take off about 18:20, about 25 minutes late, but hopefully we can make up some time in the air. Well, this flight in the Iberia A320 was not as good as our flight to Casablanca from Madrid in the RJ1000. It was a great ride. We're going to do a flight review for that trip. They got us off the plane pretty quickly. First stop, of course, was a bathroom break. And fortunately, we made up some time in the air, so now we were just a little bit late. We just had to go through passport control and customs, which went rather quickly. We didn't want to carry around our big backpacks all night. Who would? So we had to find some storage lockers. We asked around and they told us we had to go to Terminal 4 from Terminal 4S to store our luggage. So on to the air train. It was a pretty quick and comfortable 5-minute ride to Terminal 4. We couldn't find any storage lockers, but we found a place where we can store our luggage in Terminal 4. We paid about 20 euros, 10 euros a bag, for keeping our bags overnight. But if you have a better suggestion for storing your luggage in Terminal 4, please list it in the comments below. Now it was finally time for us to leave the airport and try to catch an Uber into the city. I really wish other airports organized their Uber pickup like they do in Madrid. There were clear directions where to go. In Terminal 4, Module D, 4th floor, parking P4, basically a lot of 4s. So it was pretty easy to follow. And it wasn't that crowded, so it was very easy to see your car coming. The app said we were going to arrive at 2300. We got there a little bit later, but still with enough time for our 23:15 reservation. And remember, if you're going to use Uber, make sure that you have a credit card attached to your account with no foreign transaction fees. Okay, so we made it to our first destination in Madrid, restaurant Botín. I hear Hemingway ate here. Pretty cool. We had the last seating, which isn't always the best. We came here because a friend recommended it, and we wanted to check out the oldest continuously open restaurant in the world, according to Guinness. They sat us upstairs, and it's very nice and elegant upstairs. But what we really wanted was to sit downstairs. Now that's more like it. It was a really cool space with that old world vibe, with nice little touches everywhere you looked. And this place is pretty popular, so if you want to come, make sure you make a reservation well in advance. Even looking through the menu was an adventure. There were stories, history, maps, and yes, even food. And it was a long day, so we were incredibly hungry. Now the prices here are probably slightly higher than the average in Madrid, but I believe well worth it. My garlic shrimp was delicious, and the prawns were spot on. And we even got to enjoy this excellent meal while listening to some live music. I do love some live music with my dinner. But then I noticed this room right next to our table, one level down. So of course, I had to investigate. Apparently, this is an old wine cellar that was flooded many decades ago, but it adds a little something to the atmosphere and charm of the place. It was dusty and musty down there. I kinda liked the wine cellar. I thought it added to the experience. Now, it was time to head back up as our bill was ready. Now about the bill, I wasn't disappointed in the price of the food or the wine. It was these two items on the bill that left me a little perplexed. The water and the bread. First of all, I thought we got tap water, but the item that really bothered me was the bread. They charged us for 2 breads. In my opinion, they shouldn't charge you for the bread they place on the table at a restaurant. Well, now we were off to our next destination. We took a nice leisurely after-dinner stroll around Madrid on our way to our first bar, and Madrid is a great late-night city. The city at night seems so alive, people out enjoying the beautiful night, just taking a walk, going to bars, restaurants, clubs, listening to live music, basically just enjoying life. So we were thoroughly enjoying our walk through the streets of Madrid, but now it was time for a drink. Or 2. Probably more. Our first stop Saturday night, well now it's Sunday morning, was the Yambala Bar. We were just looking for some place to chill out, have a beer or 2 in a comfortable, relaxed environment, and the Yambala Bar seemed like the perfect place to do it. And we sat down in the corner on these comfortable pillows. So this place had a cool vibe, the bartender was really nice, so we thought this would be a great place to sit back, relax, and enjoy a few beers, surrounded by Yambala's very interesting and eclectic decor. But now it was time to head off to our next destination. Salmon Guru. It has been ranked as one of the top 50 bars in the world, and I believe on the 2022 list it was ranked 15th in the world. Not too bad. And our good friend Rob recommended this place, and on a Saturday night you can expect a line, but fortunately we had to wait probably less than 10 minutes, and as soon as you walk in the place you can feel that great energy, see all those vibrant colors, sit back, relax, while enjoying a great mix of music and some incredibly innovative cocktails. Speaking of cocktails, let's take a look at their world-famous cocktail menu. Not only were the cocktails interesting and innovative, so were the names. And even the most selective of drinkers will easily find a drink on this list they will enjoy. And of course, we had to sample a few, and they were quite tasty. And one of the highlights here was the drink presentations. Some of them are quite interesting and very unique. Now sometimes you walk into these high-end cocktail bars and they can be arrogant and pretentious. Not here at Salmon Guru. Everyone was nice, accommodating, and friendly. And now with a few drinks under our belt and a great time, on to our next place. And fortunately, it was only a few minutes away, and it was such a beautiful Madrid night. We enjoyed the walk through streets that were still fairly crowded, so we decided to stop off and grab a drink on the way. Next up on our list was the Lovo Cocktail Bar. We were looking for a place to have some great drinks, do some dancing before we had to head back to the airport, and Lovo Cocktail Bar checked all the boxes. I believe it was a 14 or 15 euro cover at the door, but they gave you one drink ticket, so it evened out. Lovo Bar had this elegant 1920s speakeasy feel. The theme of the place was really cool, and I enjoyed the homage to Josephine Baker, very fitting. Now I think it's time for a few drinks. And just in case you're a little hungry, here's a quick look at the food menu. When we go out, we usually like to sit up at the bar to get a first-hand view. It was obvious that these bartenders were very professional and knew exactly what they were doing. And our particular bartender for the evening was very accommodating. He made sure we got the drink that we wanted, made the way that we wanted it. Now that's service. Now that we had a few drinks, it was time for a little dancing. So we headed downstairs. It was a cozy space with some old school music playing and a great crowd. They had a bar downstairs where we grabbed a few beers. So drinking, dancing, meeting some interesting people was a great way to end our night in Madrid. So if you're looking for a place with solid cocktails, dancing, and an overall great experience, you might want to check out the Lovo Cocktail Bar. But for us, it was time to Uber back to the airport. We tried to book an Uber taxi ride to the airport, but it got canceled both times, so we just went with the Uber. The Uber ride back to the airport was pretty quick. There wasn't much traffic at this time in the morning. First stop was to pick up our luggage in luggage storage. Now that we had our backpacks, it was back to the air train to go from Terminal 4 to Terminal 4S. After the air train, it was time to go through passport control and security. By this time, we were quite tired, so we were all ready to relax at the Neptuna Lounge for a little food, drink, and a well-needed shower. We have a review on this lounge coming out. We'll list it below. This is where we got to enjoy the beautiful Madrid sunrise. And after being up all night, the shower in the lounge was much appreciated. Fortunately, these showers were free, but check, as some lounges will charge for it. Now back on the plane, looking forward to a nice, relaxing flight back to the States.
Attention passengers, this is your captain speaking. It looks like we have a maintenance issue and we're going to be delayed. Hopefully it won't take too long and we'll be moving again shortly.
That doesn't sound too bad. I'm sure we'll be taking off very soon. Okay, not soon. 2 hours later, and we still haven't moved.
Attention passengers, this is your captain again. It looks like the maintenance issue is still unresolved, so we're going to have to ask you to please deplane until we can get the issue resolved.
So, back to the lounge. The lounge staff said they would keep us updated on the situation and to check with them every 45 minutes, as well as constantly checking for updates on my phone. But by this time, I was getting tired, my head was falling back, and my eyes started to close.
Atención, atención, el vuelo hacia Nueva York está por partir.
I quickly ran to the front desk. There was a little miscommunication on the boarding, and they informed me that my plane has already boarded and the gate's about to close. You have to run. And of course, our gate was the furthest one from the lounge, and we just made it before they closed the doors. So we finally made it back to the States. About 3 hours past our original arrival time, but it's all good. We arrived here safely with some wonderful stories and an incredible experience. Here's some final thoughts. Madrid is a great city and such a great late night city to visit. Especially on the weekends, you could find places with great food, drinks, dancing, and live music. And as far as long layovers, we enjoy them on occasion as it gives us a small taste of a city, and usually the flights are a little cheaper. I hope this helps you the next time you travel to Madrid, Spain, or have a long layover. Safe travels. Please subscribe, like, and share to keep up with all our latest travel news, tips, and reviews, and we do appreciate it as it does help support the channel.